Welcome everyone, this is Pine Needles and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest in LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week, I'm joined by Krister
Hello.
and Sanswinda
Hello, everybody.
and Air. Or we have another round of release notes to read today.
Woohoo!
I am incredibly happy.
You're incredibly happy. Ooh, okay. Very well, then look at update 48.4, which was released on June 3rd, 2026, where Angmar and Mordor are now at level cap of 105. That's right, our legendary worlds of Angmar and Mordor now have a level cap of 105. The maximum item level for legendary items has also been increased to 250. Additionally, all 6 previously seen Veil of the Nine ring raids are being rotated into the game during this level cap. So, if you have missed any ring raids, they can now appear. The ring raids are the Black Blade of Lebanon, the Gloom of Nirn, the Grim Southron, the Bane of Rune, the Forsaken Reaver, and the High Sorcerer of Harad. The Throne of the Dread Terror Raid opens on Angmar and Mordor at noon Eastern on June 11th. So that'll be in 5 days from the recording of this episode. Now, I presume this is the last hurrah of the ring raids before something else happens?
The final charge. Oh, it's almost noble if it wasn't such a band of evil, naughty people.
Yeah. Well, consider the concerning how much of their bodies are left, I think they'll be naughty even in the original meaning of the word, meaning having nothing. Also, the 18th legendary item and 7th PvP reward tracks are now available. The 18th legendary item reward track began at 10 a.m. Eastern on June 3rd and will continue until 9:59 a.m. Eastern on September 2nd, 2026. So that'll be for 3 months. The 7th PvP reward track now begins and ends alongside with the legendary items reward tracks as well. VIPs can unlock access to the PvP reward track at a 50% discount in the LOTRO store. New rewards on the LI reward track include an incomparable coffer of the Ambaru Property Guard, the Tome of the Arabian Pony's Pet, the legendary coffer of the Hamat Renewed Protectors, and the Tome of the Tame Hyena. New rewards in the PvP track include new appearances for each monster play class and a selection of cosmetic items and for weapons. I must admit, I'm not exactly jumping up and down for any of the items that are in this season's reward. I don't know if any of you are.
You don't want to dress up your orc?
I dress up my.
I don't think he wants to dress up his orc.
I don't think I've ever.
Do you have an orc?
Why isn't there an orc leaf?
Why isn't there an orc leaf?
Or pine orc? No, I don't know. I like orc leaf, I think, better than that.
Orc leaf, okay. Dookie. I have a feeling I will refrain from that.
If you see an orc leaf on the server, suspect Krister.
All right, if not orc leaf, then what about a pine wraith?
A pine wraith.
That would be kind of cool. Sam Burke suggests you could have an orc and a tutu.
Or 2 orcs in a tutu. Or 222 orcs in a tutu.
Or even 3 kobolds in a trench coat at this rate.
They'd be the
That's
wingman.
better than 3 orcs and a tutu.
Yes.
How about 2 orcs and a onesie?
What else is going on, Pine Leaf?
Yes. Also, in the release, housing shared storage capacity has been updated for certain non-kinship premium houses that were purchased during a short time window during the launch of the Rivendell housing. The housing shared storage capacity should now correctly update to match the highest value of another house owned by the account on the world. Notes, this change will not resolve outstanding issues with kinship housing storage capacity, only personal homes. This change will not resolve an account's shared storage housing capacity if it does not own another home with the correct higher capacity. And players with outstanding housing storage issues should work with customer service support to resolve. The retry timer for all festival horse races has been reduced from 5 minutes to 1 minute.
That's
I don't know,
nice.
how was it originally? Was it originally like something like an
Wasn't
hour or
it
2
much
hours?
worse? Yeah, I was gonna say it was much worse too. So of course when you know, spilled your coffee and moved your mouse and failed the course, then you're just
Yes.
so 1 minute sounds delightful, frankly.
Yes. The cost to repeat the festival horse races sooner than the daily cooldown has been reduced from 5 mithril coins to 3 mithril coins. So that is if you won it and want to do another one in the same day, then it will cost you 3 mythic coins as opposed to the 5 that it did in the last previous one. Because I think this will kick in during the summer festival, I guess is when the new timing will come into play. For monster play, the cosmetic weapons Gundabad Captain's Brow and White's Great Axe has been adjusted to hide when the user is not in combat. And the visual appearance for the White's Great Axe has been upgraded. In the private instance, the Silent Street. You all remember Silent Street, right?
Yes.
Yes. Telimnar now spawns correctly, no longer blocking progress. I'm sure that anyone who has had the Silent Street fail on them is going to be happy about that.
Indeed.
Yes. Lions will now have a more natural looking out of combat idle animations. This includes the main lion and the proud lioness cosmetic pets, but not the shadow lion cosmetic pet. I guess you don't have to be realistic looking if you're a shadow lion.
Makes some sense.
Yeah,
It's fudge on the details, right? So
right. I mean, I think being a little bit off will be just add to the creepiness of the whole thing. Let's see. And several Rivendell housing decorations have been slightly to moderately scaled up in size to better suit elf housing interiors. You will need to unhook and rehook any of these decorations also placed in order for the size change to take into full effect. And the timeless elf hawk cosmetic pet will correctly play sounds. Okay, I guess that's good. And of course, the most important one of all, they have addressed an issue in the mission Drive the Enemy Away, where the enemies continue to respawn, making it very difficult to get the scout to appear. So that does support my hypothesis that the reason it was going wrong was because it was pretty close to impossible to clear out the entire area of all mobs before they started respawning. And I can
Gandalf could have
attest
done it.
that I have finally been able to complete that mission.
Yay!
Hooray.
Yeah. And that's it for update 48.4.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Well, we also, of course, have our special bull roarer where they had special preview number 3 for the garden and for the sorceress. I was thinking that it sounds quite an appropriate combination. The gar, you okay, the garden part at least. Is the garden and the sorceress. I know they're not coming out at the same time because one's for what I will presume would be. See, one of them is. Let me make sure I get my updates right in here. Yeah, one is probably going to come out in 48.5 is going to be my guess on the matter. It was scheduled for 48.4, but pushed back a little bit. And what we had there is that there was a Angmar, a Karndun instance that of course where the final boss was a Angrim sorceress. And of course it was in a greenhouse, so a bit of a garden in its own style. So we had that, and also, of course, more testing on the sorceress. Now, one of the things they noted in here is that it looks like this week they finally got the solo and duo versions up. Of course, I found this out after it, so I did not have an opportunity to test this. Maybe if there is a round number 4, I'll remember to test out and see if the solo and duo versions are reasonable. And that's it for the ball rower notes. Any comments on that?
I'm curious. Did you actually take a look at the sorceress at this point, or?
Oh no, I mean PvP isn't exactly my specialty.
Well, okay, that's all right. I guess I'd have to go check that out myself. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious about what it's like. But you're right. I do not see you aligning yourself with that type of thing.
Yeah. And we had this week a casual stroll with scenario for world building Q&A, and we have a link to that video in the show notes. And of course, the fact that we had a casual stroll this week means that next week we will be having We Have a Cave Troll, and this one's called about personifying LOTRO. Personifying LOTRO, I mean, I'm just trying to think, is that meaning trying to treat LOTRO as a person, or does that mean trying to bring the characters within LOTRO to life? I presume the latter. So let's go and see what is on sale this week. And Sans, what's on sale?
This week you have double bonus points option. You can get twice the bonus points in the LOTRO store through June 15th. The summer sale 2026 is going on. 5 weeks of superb savings, June 4th through July 9th. Now through June 11th, you can get 40% off Black Steel Keys, 50% off Middle Earth Venturing Pack, and 75% off Monster Play category. You can also obtain the Treasures of History, 20% off selected Legacy Patrons coffers now through June 18th. It looks like those coffers are probably the Homesteads and Harvest coffer, Mirkwood Patrons coffer, and Rohirrim Patrons coffer. Or Rohirrim. Either way. Limited time 20% off Deep Places Memoir packs, now through July 9th. Enshroud yourself with pre-order items from the launch of the Mines of Moria and Rise of Isengard. Ooh. And the summer expansion sale arrives June 25th through July 9th. You can get up to 85% off select expansion packs in the LOTRO market. Full list will be revealed on June 24th, so stay tuned for that. You can also start a new journey with 30% off character slots, vet status, which is pretty awesome, and XP boosts, now through June 11th. The vet status will get you out of the intro area and level you up. So, if you accidentally choose the wrong intro and find yourself at the beginning of an epic battle before the gates of Mordor, but you are limited in time, you may veteran status your way through however many thousand of years of sleep.
Beautiful.
It's pretty awesome. And the weekly coupon is 5 homesteading coins, homesteading coin times 5, with the coupon code HOMELY, HOMELY, and that is also good through June 11th.
All right, thank you. And with that, we now have our weekend LOTRO. Krister, what were you up to?
Well, I had a week of internet frustrations with my internet going up and down about every 2 minutes. Today it's much more stable, which is promising, but it was very disruptive to my week. I blame it on internet Balrogs. But other than yes, other than the absence of being able to play anything that I wanted to play, I built some ships, and then I played a game where it's kind of like you're in the future of the Terminator movie, except you're the equivalent of the skull that the Terminator steps on. But it's addicting, and I was having fun with it. Sans, what were you up to this week?
Well, this week I did not play very much LOTRO, but I did unlock a few Ascension levels in Slay the Spire 2, and I started a new Ark World with Cinders, and we had a kind of funny event happen with it, trying to tame a cat that I found, and I looked up how to tame it, and nothing's working. It claws my face off. I get Cinders to come help me try to figure it out. It claws her face off. We're like, what in the world are we doing wrong? How do you tame this cat? And so then we made a raft to go exploring. And the raft just had a yellow name. We couldn't interact with it or do anything with it. And we're like, what in the world is going on? Turns out somehow or other, taming dinos got set to 0. So
Taming dinos got set to 0?
the number of dinos that you were allowed to tame got set to 0.
Okay. The cat's not a dino.
The cat was a dino. So was the raft, according to the game's logic.
Whoa.
And so we had 4 rafts by the time we figured out how to fix this. But now things are going pretty well. And rafts Uno, Dos, Tres, and Cuatro are all in service. So, yeah, and Deadly the cat has been tamed. So, it was fun, but definitely some snafus at startup there. And that was pretty much my week. How was your week, Penleaf?
All right, before I do that, I was wondering what Ascension levels have you reached so far?
I have unlocked Ascension 5 on the trying to think who they are in order: the Silent and Regent.
Okay.
So, still working on it for the Necrobinder and
Well, you're ahead of me on the
and
matter.
Defect.
That's all I can
And
say on
yeah, and my Ironclad's still stuck on Ascension 9, but I didn't try that either. So,
that. All right. Then let's go into my Warden. My Warden, as I said earlier, I finally completed day 4 of the Hadakali Fells missions. That's the one where drive the enemy away is one of the 3 missions on day number 4. And it's good to have that done. I created an updated video, and it so happened that the day the update came out was the day 4. So I was able to record it right on the day of the release in there and post that. So now you can finish all the missions within the new area. In our Hardened Traveler group, our Wednesday group there, we headed into Rohan and we earned our war steeds.
Hip hip
Hooray!
hooray!
We'll see how that works out. So I also, of course, took the little course in, I guess you could say, the crash course in how to ride a war steed.
Do you find that helpful?
Well, seeing how many times
I'm just wondering
I've
if is it like reflex to do it, or is it helpful, or some combination?
on the,
I
I
usually do
think,
it on every new character, like new class that I take through. So I was just curious.
right. Well, in this particular case, I think it was the first time where I did not start the one where you go around hitting the 10 dummies.
Uh huh.
I think it's the first time in years, probably since the first time I've done the thing, where I didn't start too soon. Because what happens is that they don't set the dummy counter until he's finished giving um, his spiel about what you're supposed to be doing. So as a
Yep.
result of this, I hit four. So in fact, I was hitting for the dummies, and then after I hit the fourth one, it gets reset to zero, and it took me years to figure out what in the world was going on. And of course, it was that. Oh, that means he just finished explaining what I was supposed to be doing. So they reset it because it's time for you to get going.
I love that it starts counting first, though. And yeah, I definitely usually get it reset on me if I'm doing that. Because I'm like, oh
Yes.
yeah, I know how to hit the dummies, and I start hitting the dummies while he's still telling me what to do, and then it's like 0. I'm like, wait a second.
Oh joy. And I've gone back and played some Diablo 2, the new the resurrected well, the resurrected Diablo 2 resurrected, and played started a warlock, and this is a class that was added, I think, in February or something like this. Sort of like they did one expansion in 2006, so their next expansion came out in 2026. I mean,
Hey, this is what I'm hearing. Cha-ching.
Ka-ching. Ka-ching, yes. Anyway, I've created a warlock, and I ran through for all the way through normal through all 5 acts, and this is the first class that I have that I managed to get through all 5 acts. I know. You'd think that one of the other ones would have had a chance to, because they had a 20-year head start, but no, I finally managed to do that. So I've managed to. Well, it's going to say complete the game, but that's not quite true, because once you finish in normal mode, you try it again in nightmare mode. So I'm now going through Act 1 in nightmare mode also, and it looks like that I found it a little bit easier to get through. Well, I say get through. I think one of the problems I had is that the last time I played, when I last played, 20 odd years ago, Act 3 I found annoying, and Act 4 I've gave me a lot of headaches. And of course, since I wasn't getting past Act 4, usually I never actually got to Act 5. Act 5 was added in the first expansion in there. As a result of that, I'd never actually even started Act 5. I found out because I was playing in there, and no, I remember absolutely nothing in Act 5. That obviously means that I never actually ever started it. I
Well,
think I
that's
missed
actually
the
cool
video.
that you get to go back and have new experiences with it too. Then.
Yeah, it's a new experiences with it, and I had some trouble with my build at the beginning, but eventually figured out, oh, maybe if I use that skill instead of that skill, it'll be better. And once I did that, I went from drinking a potion every minute to drinking a potion maybe once in an hour or something like that. So things went really, really well in there. Okay, so I like the Warlock class, I guess is what that says about in there. And that concludes my week in the True. If you have any feedback for us, you can send it to podcast@LotraPlayers.com. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Lotra Players News, and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You guys choose our shows at LotraPlayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Piney Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.